and welcome to another California Guy video with your boy California Guy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to this video. This a couple of topics I'm gonna do, but this is the anniversary today of the assassin, and not an anniversary, but today's the day that Malcolm X was slain. I think over 50 years ago. So it's that's an infamous day. They really don't talk about it in the mainstream media about Malcolm X being assassinated. And I noticed that the mainstream media is trying to downplay the legacy of Malcolm X. I'm sorry. Now, for a couple of decades, they have literally tried to whitewash Martin Luther King for the last 12 years. But for a long time, Martin Luther King was not talked about in mainstream media. In fact, they tried to take away Martin Luther King's holiday. They try not to really give him a holiday, but the last few years they've tried to celebrate Martin Luther King a little bit more. Now Malcolm hasn't gotten the same attention. Malcolm X is being looked at as a terrorist. A lot of white people, coons, and others have tried to shape Malcolm X into being this terroristic figure. Excuse me, that was anti-white. Now let's go back into time, into the 20th century, end of slavery. Black people were getting lynched in mass numbers. That's fact. Lots of lynchings, rapes in the South, voting disenfranchised. All these different things were going on for at least over 100 years prior to the birth of Malcolm X. Malcolm X's dad was killed by Ku Klux Klan white supremacist members. Malcolm X, known as Malcolm Little, went through racism. He grew up in deep Jim Crow. And so, and I'm not going to go through his history because some of you people know his history, so I'm going to kind of fast forward through some. But Malcolm Little became Malcolm X when he came out of prison. He reformed. And he became a stronger black man. He always was a strong black man, but he found his potential. Now, Malcolm X pointed out truths at the time in the mid-50s going to the early 60s about Uncle Tom's, about black power, black empowerment, celebrating your heritage, black beauty, all these different things Malcolm X established, to which you had the black power movement. And that's fact. A lot of the stuff that came out the black power movement came from Malcolm X. Richard Pryor, the comedian, Richard Pryor, a lot of his material changed due to Malcolm X. Paul Mooney. So Malcolm was the most influential black man in the history of the United States, next to Martin Luther King and Frederick Douglass. He's up there. But now, today, there's a thing, a campaign to try to strip away Malcolm X, to try to shame people into Malcolm X, shame people into celebrating the legacy of Malcolm X. And I personally, a lot of my philosophy comes from Malcolm X. A lot of my, the stuff that I kind of believe in is similar to Malcolm X, actually. I don't like Uncle Tom's. I believe in black empowerment. I believe that white people keep black people down in the ghettos. They try to brainwash us in our own communities. And they need to they need to brainwash us so that we can never be liberated from the slave mentality that we've had for over 200 years. And that's what Malcolm X was talking about. And see, now, white supremacy, they're trying to wipe away anything that goes against their brainwashing techniques. Now, white supremacy and white racists will tell you that racist doesn't exist. They say it doesn't exist. It's in black people's minds. If you're black and you believe that, you're a fucking fool, indeed, because white supremacy exists all over. It's just they can't be maybe as overt and do public lynchings like they did in the mid 40s and 20s, but the shit still goes on today. Now, Malcolm X, he spoke a lot of stuff that Malcolm X talked about. If you read his autobiography or you listen to his speeches, and even Martin's speeches, by the way, Martin Luther King's speeches, it plays out today. It plays out today in the black culture, the African American culture. We as a people need to be a little bit more unified and proud of our culture. I know for myself, I speak for me, I'm proud of my black heritage. I've always have been proud of it. And I like to share my black knowledge with other brothers and sisters out there. So trying to whitewash Malcolm X makes absolutely no sense from black people. White people always hated Malcolm X. That's fact. But most black people celebrated him up until the last few years. And they try to make out like Martin was the only one that stopped white supremacy, and that's not true. It took a team effort. It was Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Thurgood Marshall, many different people, even Jesse Jackson, the students, the black students of the Black Panthers. Everybody played a role in stopping white supremacy at that time and gaining some form of equality. Now the work still keeps going, but now white people are starting to get a little smarter. They're trying to say that black people are racist, when in turn we're getting treated racist every day. We get shot by cops, murdered by police. We got black on black violence, which they like to proclaim that we should be stopping that versus racism, which is a fucking joke, because you don't hear black people talking about white on white violence. It's just little things like that that we need to counter from these white supremacists. So I thought to do this video and share it with you people. Like and share this video. This is about the legacy of Malcolm X. And if you're black out there, people, don't let white people make your mind up on Malcolm X. You celebrate his legacy to keep it going. Peace out.